I begin this tribute to David Groff by noting that he has directed the Linfield College Portland campus for 21 of its 25 years. Of course, longevity alone does not mean much. However, having read through the archives both of Linfield College and of the Good Samaritan School of Nursing, I am in position to talk substantively about what David Groff has done for the college. I first observe that Linfield's 1984 foray into nursing education was controversial in some quarters. Reviewing the minutes from the faculty assembly deliberations, for instance, you find them replete with dire predictions that the Good Samaritan program would be a financial albatross that, once dead, as many predicted, would soon weigh around the necks of all Linfield employees, ancient mariners and non-ancient mariners alike. Even the Good Samaritan trustees seemed to lack confidence in their progeny. In exchange for extending a favorable lease agreement while also claiming the bulk of a very favorable federal subsidy for nursing education, Good Samaritan left the absorption of possible future losses entirely to Linfield. Fortunately, they also left the college to reap the benefits of possible future surpluses. You should all know that the losses never materialized and that surpluses have continuously accrued during each of the past 25 years of nursing and later health science education at Linfield College. We've grown into the largest single annual provider of nursing degrees in Oregon. We could have done none of these things, I submit, without the deft hand and equanimity of David Groff. Life is full of sidelong glances and sideways movements. David's career in health education is perhaps a case in point. I suspect that he, a graduate in history from the University of California, Davis, with an MA and PhD in African history from Stanford University, did not contemplate such a career when he entered the academic job market in the mid-1970s. His first stop was at Reed College, where he taught history in the department for 11 years. During the last 4 of those years, he was dean of students at Reed. That must have been quite an experience. I don't know much about it, but I leave it to you audience members to quiz David about that during the reception. David came to Linfield in 1987 to work as a Portland advisor in the Division of Continuing Education. As the Linfield takeover of the Good Samaritan program was facilitated by pre-existing ties with DCE, David was a natural to take over the directorship of the Portland campus when Ken Williams, the first director, elected to return full-time to McMinnville. I got to know David 7 years into his directorship when I came to the college as Dean of Faculty in 1994. His position was then, as it remains today, an anomaly. Technically, David reported to me while simultaneously serving as a peer in the President's cabinet. Now, Sandy Keel, if she were here, could tell us that management texts counsel against such crossing of reporting lines, for they are apt to produce either confusion or paralysis. Let me assure you, however, that in David Groff they produce neither. David is far too confident and self-knowing to play the kind of games that might get one in trouble when occupying an ill-defined position. In sum, David proved to be a wonderful colleague. He is organized and attentive to detail. His ever-present day planner is always with him, and he is ever making notes on getting back to people. I have never known David to drop the ball on a commitment that made it into his planner. What is more, I have also never known him to fail to put a commitment into his planner. And that's the hard part. His strength with respect to detail also came to the fore in 21 years of assembling and presenting the Portland campus budget and in working productively with legacy systems on leases, maintenance, parking, cooperative ventures, and the like. David Groff's patience and affability are, or should be, equally well known to you as his penchant for detail. He was on the receiving end of countless crises during our time as colleagues. And when I say crises, I am not exaggerating, as we academics are wont to do with that word. When hundreds of student nurses each year practice on nursing faculty members' licenses throughout the whole of the metropolitan area, the crises are real, not imagined. When hundreds of Portland campus students travel to exotic places over the years during January term, again, the crises are real. David's calm and his keen good judgment never failed him or Linfield College.